Peace everyone. So today is another like garden update, plus I want to show you guys something that I just kind of like had in my conscience to do. So I told you guys that I like to do juicing and stuff like that, and so a lot of times with juicing, you know, you have over this leftover pulp, and I'll show you what that looks like. It looks like this. So this is the remaining of the fucking stay up. I'm not acting so fucking lot. Okay, so this is what the pulp looks like after you finish juicing. So when you juice, the juice is obviously extracted from the produce, whether it be fruit, vegetable, herb, green, whatever. And then the pulp is extracted on the other side. The pulp is the part that you don't consume when you're juicing. So I have all this leftover pulp, and I'm just thinking, okay, I really need to just compost this or something. Now, theoretically, well, I've never composted before, but just kind of going off of like what my conscience is saying is I probably should maybe done it before I planted the garden. But that's okay because I can use this for, I think I'm still going to try to use it for this year's garden, but also next year's. So what I had in mind is, okay, let me compost this. And then I had another great idea, like, okay, well, I make sea moss. A lot of people don't know I sell sea moss on my website. So this is sea moss, aka Chondrus crispus. Okay, that's a good view there. And so it's sitting in water right now. And so this sea moss actually comes from Ghana. So someone picks it for me ethically in Ghana and ships it to me. And so now when you first get sea moss, you have to wash it. You have to wash it pretty well. And so that's the part, that water is, you know, water that that you don't consume. And so this is my personal sea moss. So well, I mean, obviously I sell it, but this batch is my personal batch. This is about 2 ounces soaked, and you see I have it in water, but this water is like the washing water, so I still have to wash it probably good to, this is the first wash, so I have to wash it a good 2 more times. And so when I wash it, I just, you know, usually I have gloves if I'm making it for someone else, but I just, you know, run my hands through whatever, and you'll see the water kind of change colors. Right, and so those are some of those are the minerals, which is coming from the sea moss, right? So I'm like, well, I'm throwing out all the wash water out from the sea moss, so I might as well throw that in my garden too. And so I'm like, well, I can just compost both. So what I'm going to do is I had an extra bag of soil. Now this soil is potting soil or a potting mix, but whatever, it's dirt. So I'm thinking, why don't I have a pile of dirt and mix, you know, keep throwing back my pulp and also watering it with the sea moss water, and just keep coming back and turning it, mixing it, whatever, every few days or something. And then, like, even though my stuff is already sprouting up, I'll show you guys in a minute. You know, we planted 2 weeks ago and this stuff is really sprouting up. Like, I'm actually pretty excited. But yeah, so we planted 2 weeks ago, whatever, so obviously it has its soil and dirt, but I'm thinking like I can still, maybe instead of like people use plant food and stuff like that, I'm thinking like I can still use that and sprinkle it, you know, among the soil, and like when it rains, when I water it, still penetrates deep into the soil, so that the plants that I did plant, it's also gaining those nutrients from the things that I'm putting, aka the natural plant food that I'm making myself. So I don't know if there's a right way or wrong way to do this. Like I said, this is all just subconsciously thinking. When I do garden stuff, it's all off of trial and error. It's just literally, I'm just thinking like, okay, I'll do this. I don't read no books, I just do it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do, and then, you know, obviously we'll have an update in a few weeks on what the compost pile is looking like. I'll probably also be throwing back like I buy a lot of fruit, so sometimes fruit goes bad, especially like strawberries go bad pretty fast. So what I'll probably do is, instead of throwing them out, maybe putting them in the compost pile. Now I know some people have really big compost piles. I'm not going to do like a huge one, I don't think. Just going to start off just right here in this little area, and then just see what happens. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant it right next to the garden that we created. Let's see. See, I'm right next to it. I'm right in between that and our right in between that and our raised bed, or one of our raised beds. So let's get started. Now, if I had some in-ground soil, I'd probably use that, but I just happen to have a leftover bag of open potting mix. But whatever, it's not, I don't think it's a big issue. All right, so first I'm going to dump this here. I just dumped the rest of the bag. The bag was like 80% full of stuff. And then I have the pulp here. It's one of my kids' shovels, but whatever. I have the pulp here. And people will probably use way more dirt than this. I don't know, but just dump that in there. And then I'm gonna take the sea moss water, the first strain, and just water it. Now, like I said, I need to rinse that one off about 2 more times. So the next 2 rinses, I'll throw it in here too. And I juice, I'll probably be juicing, I will be juicing again today. So I'll have more pulp than this, and I'll just keep adding it. And so, and then whatever bad product, like I just threw out a box of strawberries yesterday, and I'm wishing that I didn't do that because I could have thrown it back here. You guys can't really see. Okay, so I'm just mixing it all in. So the dirt to like pulp ratio is off. I mean, I don't know if there's supposed to be a ratio. Now, ultimately, like the sun and the process of this just being outdoors, the nutrient, all the stuff in the pulp is gonna break down. It's gonna break down, decompose, and enrich the soil here. On top of it being on top of my regular grass, soil. And I feel like I do have pretty rich, good soil. I mean, I get to grow beautiful things. If you guys see my watermelons, I'll insert a little video here.
So I actually couldn't find the original video, so I just went and like screen recorded another YouTube video. This is actually one of my smaller watermelons, actually.
My watermelons are from last year, but they were huge. Okay. But so yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do the 2 more rinses of the sea moss, and I'm gonna keep coming back here and adding the pulp here and just flipping it every few days. And then what I'll do is, like, right before I water my plants or whatever, I'm just gonna take a handful and just like sprinkle it on top of my plants, just as like natural plant food instead of like purchasing plant food. So we'll see how that goes. So let me give you guys an update on some of the things that that were planted 2 weeks ago now. Not that close, not that close. Okay, you gotta, okay, stand back just a little bit probably so you don't, yeah, just like that. Good job. Wow, you're doing great. Make sure you water the other plants too. Okay. All those good vegetables. What about to try my plants? Good job.
The carrot, the kale.
Yeah. Well, we don't have carrots in that part, but yeah, we have tomatoes and other stuff. So make sure you, yeah. Oh, child. Where's the snail, baby? Okay, so we got a little bit of growth. Y'all see my hair is looking kind of crazy.
Crazy.
You
need to brush your hair, Mommy.
Okay. Show Mommy where can you see the little plants growing?
Yeah.
Here, point to them.
So cute. It's so cute.
Yeah, Mommy planted seeds there. Gotta be very gentle with them. We have some, can you find some more?
Right there.
Go show Mommy. Yes. Good job.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, yeah. There's some right here. I see something right here too. Let me look. It's another plant growing. We gotta make sure we water all of this. We gotta go through and water it again.
Yeah.
Okay, would you like to water it?
Should we play basketball before? Can we wait till these grow a little bit? Okay.
Once you get up there.
Oh.
Try again. So, and I think I made a video with Melony watering this stuff, and I don't believe that these things had even grown yet. So these definitely just sprouted out within probably the last 2 days, because I think Melony was back here watering like probably 3 days ago. So unfortunately I did not label stuff, but and I think this plant got a little bit taller too, but all of these have came up from seeds. So it's been 2 weeks since we planted seeds. So these were seeds. This whole row was seeds, and if you look under here, you see where it's trying to sprout out. You see how it's like the force of it just trying to pick up that dirt. That's so beautiful to me. So yeah, I'm wondering if I should just like lift it and give it some help, or leave it alone. Maybe I'll leave it alone. These were seeds. Is this a seed of something? I don't know. I'm not sure. These were the chives. The chives were not looking so great after all that wind, you know, last time, but feeling them, they feel much more rooted, and they don't look as bad as they did. And I'm not sure why this is here, because I don't think I would have planted that right next to that, or maybe I did on accident. Oops. And then these were just all the seedlings that I had already had, and so they look like they're doing great. I don't know if they look like they're growing or not. I'll have to look back on past videos and pictures, but they definitely did withstand that wind that I had told y'all about in that last update. And then I'll show you guys the other bear. Oh, also before I do that, so remember in that first video I had cut all of this down with a lawnmower? Look at this 2 weeks later. Look how tall that is. You see how tall that is already? But then turn around and look at this. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to identify these, because I'm not really and it looked to me, it's like, it gives me like dandelion mixed with tomato mixed with wild lettuce vibes. It's like I really don't know, but this was completely knocked down 2 weeks ago, and look how tall that is. Like, it's to my hips. It's actually to my hips. Okay, I'm 5'3", and that's about to my hips there. So I'm going to try to identify that. A lot of times, like on plant ID apps, sometimes they give you the wrong information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do 2 or 3 of those apps and see if they all basically say the same thing. And then I'm going to get on Facebook and see if I can use a plant identification group to identify that, so I can, because I mean, if it's coming back like this, I just feel like it's useful for something. And if you look here, isn't that so beautiful? Look how beautiful that is. Shout out to my new camera. So beautiful. So beautiful. And then you see down here, they turn yellow here. So let me give you a look at the other raised bed here, what you guys see me do. Now remember, these were all seeds. I only planted seeds in here. And I was somewhat worried about the wind with those seeds. But you see those are coming up here. Beautiful, beautiful. And I should have an update video from Melony watering this. So, now I know I planted all rows, so I'm not seeing any sprouting here just yet. I see that one, itty bitty one. Oh, I see something. You see that coming up from there? So this looks like some sprouting going on. Not seeing anything here just yet, but we see that here. Okay, and then we have the beautiful infamous cleavers that we love so much, right? If you guys looked at the cleavers video on my YouTube, you should have seen the benefits for that. My Melony's toys are still sitting right there, as you see. Yeah. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed the update. I hope you're enjoying these updates about the garden. A few people have asked me if they could send me seeds so I can grow. The answer is yes. Definitely just inbox me for my address, and I'll get the seeds from you, and I will update you guys via pretty much YouTube and social media on how these seeds are growing. But at this point, they will more than likely be in a pot, or I could put them on a garden tower. So all right, peace and love, guys. Yeah, baby. What's that?
Vegetable.
What's the name of it? It's an herb, but what's the name of that?
Seaweed.
It is not seaweed, Melony. What's the name of that? Anthony, what's the name of that, Poppy?
Grass.
It's not grass.
Cleavers.
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 I'm so excited to have our cleavers.
Mm-hmm.
Some of this is sea moss. I just made that, so it's like setting or whatever. But I made some, what is this? I can't even remember. Wow. Oh, cantaloupe and pineapple ginger, my favorites. And pears. I had just a lot of pears too. And this is like sea moss, like water or whatever. And some oranges and apples.